So Sally can wait. She knows it's too late as we're walking on by. Her soul slides away. But don't look back in anger, I heard you say. That was Don't Look Back in Anger, the final song off my How to Disappear into Strings EP. Um, I've lost my train of thought. Yeah. Um, Oasis. I absolutely love Oasis. Anybody that ever has ever even spoken to me for about 5 seconds knows I love Oasis. The proof is here. Um, a little bit of a backstory on them. They started in around 1991, just playing little bars in Manchester. Nothing really happening. This was when it was just Liam Gallagher in the band. Noel joined later on. Started writing songs for them. They forced their way into King Tut's Wah Wah Hut in Glasgow. Played a 4-song set, and Alan McGee from Creation Records seen them and gave them, I think it was like a 3 or 4 album deal. Um, Oasis started with a massive. They started massive. They released their first single, Supersonic, which was written and recorded and mixed in one night. The first LP, Definitely Maybe, became the fastest ever British #1 album, which then got broken by Arctic Monkeys. Whatever people say, that's what I'm not. This is just a fantastic. It's got my favourite songs ever on here. It's got Live Forever, Supersonic, Cigarettes and Alcohol, Slide Away. But what we're concerned about is this second album, which they recorded in Rockfield Studios. Loads of arguments. Liam got hit with a cricket bat. Had massive hits on this. Wonderwall, obviously. Don't Look Back in Anger. She's Electric. Champagne Supernova. It's one of the greatest albums of all time. It's fantastic. There is not a single skip on this album. As for Don't Look Back in Anger, it came out quite strangely. They brought it out around a year after What's a Story, Morning Glory. Um, and it hit #1. Strangely, they didn't bring it out straight away. Obviously, that's going to be a single. Obviously, it's going to be a great song. They later on in about 2017, there was bombings in Manchester for an Ariana Grande concert, and the song recharted after a group of individuals at the memorial started singing this song, and I think it gives it a really beautiful meaning. And the song's kind of taken on another life. And this song's I love this song. It has a very important meaning to me. I love it. And due to this, I thought, because obviously I'd heard the thing that happened at One Love, and I'd heard for One Love Manchester, and I'd heard all of these people singing it, and I thought it would be wrong for me to do a version of Don't Look Back in Anger without loads of people singing it. So my initially I was going to do it in the original key, which is in C major, which I didn't really want to do because it's quite high to sing as a male singer, and I wanted everybody to be able to have that chance to sing on this track. So I brought it down to A major, because it's a lot more comfortable for especially male vocal, and I want people to be able to reach that note. So to start the song, I just used a couple of acoustic guitars and a Neumann microphone, which I double tracked, panned left and right. I've done a slightly different. I've got a slightly different chord progression to the original song, where I've got like loads of suspensions and what will this be, a C sharp 7, I guess. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Loads of different kind of chord progression. It's a slightly different chord progression, but it's quite comfortable to play and it sounds right still. Which Noel Gallagher's played solo before, so I thought if he can do it, I can do it. So I recorded a lead vocal originally, and it was going to be just acoustic, and I thought, no, it kind of has to have a guitar based element to it. I originally, for a lot of the lead lines, like such as like stuff like that, right the way through the song, I used a Fender Stratocaster on the neck pickup going through a Vox style amplifier, quite a bit of reverb, and it was on this like edge of breakup tone. If you don't know what that is, it's kind of on an old tube amp. You wouldn't have a distortion switch, you just turn it up and it kind of distort, and that's called the edge of breakup, where it's not clean but it's not distorted. So I thought I'd use that tone for a lot of the bridge sections. I then used that same Stratocaster again, and used like a tremolo effect on it, to give, and used a whammy bar as well to try and get it to. It just added an extra layer, and I panned that left. Um, what was I gonna say? I had big guitar sounds. I used. Give me 2 seconds. I used this guitar, my PRS, my number one, for a lot of the double track guitars on this. And then for the string arrangements, I thought because there's no string arrangements in the original song, but there's a few versions with it in, and I didn't want to vary too much from the original part of the song. I didn't want to change it too much, so I used for the I started adding like cellos and stuff in the bridge section, which I just had playing like a. I had them just playing that, and then I had a viola actually using like staccato going. I had another viola then taking the the tonic notes like the major and minor notes because it goes from C to C. No, sorry, D to D minor. Where it goes. And I want to use that. That worked really well. There's also a really interesting like lead line which is played by the guitar on the original track. It's like, and I want to incorporate that, so I used, I think it was violin. No, it was a viol. It was a viola. Um, I want to create this tension as well before the chorus, which is how I do it. Whenever I play this song live, this is how I do it. It goes, stand up beside the fireplace. Take that look from off your face. You ain't ever gonna burn my heart out. And I like to do this. And I had the violins really. I think I'd used it in a couple of different octaves where it would go to really create that tension. That was the first. That was for the first verse and the first chorus. For the chorus I did very similar things in terms of how I was using the strings, using the tonic note, and then some just using the root note. I didn't want to expand too far from that because I didn't want to ruin the original intention of the song. I then got into the second verse and I had a viola just playing the root note going. That was a bit butchered. Had them doing that, and then I brought them back in for the second chorus. There's then a guitar solo, which goes something like. I had that coming, and then there's a section later on where it goes. I started to bring the strings back in for that, and then there's a stop before the final chorus, and I think on the final count for this, I wanted a big double chorus at the end. I think it was 26 different people singing on it. Not all of them singers, not all of them in tune, but I wanted this sound of loads of people singing it, and it sounded beautiful. It sounded like a choir. Um, it amazed me how well that went. I thought it would go horribly wrong. People laughing and people just. I obviously had to cut bits of that out. People seem to really enjoy themselves. Everybody I've shown this to, I said that's really really cool. And I had them singing up to the second chorus. It goes, my soul slides away. I had them all cut out there, and then back to just a lead vocal. It goes, but don't look back in anger. Don't look back in anger. I heard you say, and it was like created a calmness after all of the voices and everything. I even got a tutor on there. I think there was fairly even split of male to female. People singing in different octave, like some sing higher octaves, some singing lower octaves, and it sounded amazing. I'm really, really proud of how this song turned out. And yeah, that was the final part. Please enjoy these songs. They will be getting put on SoundCloud, and there'll be a link to them on my website as well. Thank you very much. I was Thomas McGregor.